And she drove it like it was hers, flaunting it around town. But that car held the last memory of a promise he made to his sons, not to her. Lorraine never thought she'd be in court over a damn car. But here she was, 57 years old, 2 grown sons, and one hauntingly familiar name on a pink slip, Douglas Clark, her ex-husband. The car? A 1995 cherry red Mustang convertible. Not just any car, it was his car. The same one he used to pick up the boys from Little League. The same one Lorraine used to hate. Because it always came before groceries and rent. But now, it meant something different. Because Maggie was driving it. Maggie, the woman Douglas dated after the divorce. The woman who somehow ended up with the car after Douglas died unexpectedly. The woman who walked into the credit union, smiled sweetly and claimed it was hers. Lorraine's blood boiled every time she saw that Mustang cruise past the grocery store. Maggie behind the wheel like she was royalty. Lorraine's youngest son Marcus had once said, "Mom, Dad promised it to us. He said it was part of our inheritance." But the credit union didn't know what to do. The car was still in Douglas's name. Maggie said he gifted it to her. Lorraine said he didn't. The credit union said let a judge decide. And so Lorraine found herself in a courtroom in Mesa, Arizona, trying to explain why a car she hadn't touched in years still belonged to her family. She clutched a folder full of old emails, birthday photos in front of the Mustang, and a notarized divorce decree stating Douglas kept the car. The judge listened. Maggie rolled her eyes. Lorraine didn't care. "This isn't just about the car," she said aloud. "It's about what he promised, and what she took." Flashback. Lorraine remembered the last time Douglas had come over for dinner. It was awkward. He brought a 6-pack, told Marcus he'd teach him how to drive the stick shift that summer. That summer never came. He died 2 weeks later. Back in the courtroom, the judge looked between the two women, one grief-worn, one smug, and sighed. "I need more proof," he said. Lorraine wasn't shocked. She was furious. So, she made a decision that night. She'd pay off every damn ticket, every citation, every storage fee, because next time she stood in that courtroom, she'd walk in not just as Douglas's ex-wife, but as the rightful owner of the car he left behind. And this time she'd bring fire. She didn't want the car until Lorraine paid the $4,000 to rescue it. Suddenly Maggie remembered all the sentimental reasons it should be hers. The Mustang sat behind a chain-link fence, coated in dust, its once glorious paint now sunburned and cracked. Lorraine stood outside the tow yard, arms crossed, checkbook trembling in her hand. $4,073.50. That's what it cost to pull her ex-husband's legacy out of impound hell. Maggie had racked up nearly a dozen parking citations, expired tabs, and a storage fee that bled across 3 months. And she didn't pay a dime, because she thought Lorraine wouldn't. But Lorraine did. She paid every cent, not because she wanted to keep the car forever, but because she wanted to end the war, legally, permanently. And to do that she needed possession. She needed the car sitting in her driveway, not rusting behind a barbed wire fence. As the tow truck pulled into her cul-de-sac, neighbors peeked through blinds. Lorraine's son Marcus stepped outside with his arms folded. "Mom, you sure about this?" "No," she said, "but someone has to finish what your father started." The moment the car hit the curb, Maggie showed up. Platform sandals, sunglasses, that same smirk. "I heard you bailed it out," she said like she was talking about a dog, not a machine. "I did," Lorraine replied, cool and sharp. "You gonna pay me back?" "Oh honey," Maggie purred. "I was emotionally attached to that car. Douglas gave it to me." Lorraine didn't flinch. "He gave me 2 sons. And that's all the court's gonna care about." That night, Lorraine couldn't even park the Mustang properly. Registration was suspended, tags expired, and the DMV wouldn't issue anything until the title mess was sorted. So the car sat awkwardly, like a broken trophy, silent, unmoving. She went through Douglas's old document, insurance papers, an envelope with Maggie's handwriting, a note that read, "Doug, don't forget to transfer the car before your trip." The trip he never came back from. Was it a smoking gun? Maybe not. But it proved intent, or at least hinted at it. She scanned it to her case file, then called her lawyer. "I want to go back to court." "Are you sure?" he asked. "This could take months." "I don't care if it takes years," she snapped. She had her turn behind the wheel. "Now it's mine." And deep down she knew. This wasn't about the Mustang anymore. It was about finally being heard. In the end, it wasn't about the car. It was about who held the memory, who carried the guilt, and who dared to say goodbye. The courtroom smelled like floor polish and old wood. Lorraine sat straight, hands folded, eyes locked forward. Maggie walked in late, of course, heels clacking, attitude unbothered. She tossed her blonde hair, whispered something smug to her lawyer, and took a seat like she owned the place. Lorraine didn't flinch. She had her file receipts, citations, storage fees, insurance documents, even the note Maggie wrote to Douglas. The judge, gray-haired, no nonsense, looked tired already. "Let's make this quick," he sighed. "We're deciding ownership of a 1995 Ford Mustang, registered to the deceased, Douglas Clark." Maggie's lawyer launched into a speech about emotional ties. How Doug and Maggie had traveled together in the car. How he called it their baby. Lorraine didn't interrupt. She waited. When it was her turn, she didn't speak like a lawyer. She spoke like a mother. "That car wasn't a gift," she said. "It was a promise. My sons were told it was theirs. It sat in front of Maggie's house for months. Unregistered. Unpaid. I was the one who saved it. Because my boys deserved to remember their father, with more than just a folded flag and a memory." She paused, then added, "She wants nostalgia. I want justice." The courtroom fell silent. Then came the kick. Her lawyer slid across the insurance paper, along with the handwritten note. "Don't forget to transfer the car." The judge examined it, raised an eyebrow. Maggie looked suddenly pale. "It seems," he said, "that intentions weren't followed through. Legally, the car remained Muriniminus, Clark's property, and according to the divorce decree," he trailed off, flipping pages, "ownership was never transferred to Ms. Maggie. Therefore, in light of the plaintiff's payment of over $4,000 in storage and fines, and absence of clear legal transfer, I'm ordering the pink slip to be handed over to Mrs. Lorraine Clark." Boom. Maggie gasped. Her lawyer muttered something. Lorraine just breathed. For the first time in months, she felt the weight leave her shoulders. But it wasn't over. Outside the courtroom, Marcus waited, eyes wide. "You won?" "We did. Are we keeping it?" Lorraine looked at the Mustang parked outside the courthouse, still battered, still beautiful. "I don't know," she said. "Maybe we sell it. Maybe we drive it. But it's ours now, and we get to decide." Weeks later, a letter arrived, postmarked before Douglas's death. It named Marcus and his brother as beneficiaries to a small savings account. Nothing major, but enough. Lorraine smiled. Douglas had meant to leave a legacy. He just never got around to doing it right. But she did.